Oh, ready, you are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium. Where today, the 16 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Pittsburgh Steelers. And why are the Pittsburgh Steelers 0-16? Because they suck. Haven't won a Super Bowl since after the 2008 season. Come on, man. 2008, the Giants went into Pittsburgh, kicked their butts. Went into Arizona, kicked their butts. The two teams that went to the Super Bowl 2008, the Giants kicked both their butts. Pittsburgh, come on, man. What do you need? Ben Roethlisberger and Terry Bradshaw to win the Super Bowl? Come on, man. Pittsburgh, you suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there? Oh, my buddy Randy's here. Okay, we can continue. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody's going to spend time watching the replay this once again. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Probably throw in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. But plus also, seriously, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So once again, please feel free to fire away with the comments. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. Description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. First one's called the Saquon, the second one's called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me. I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Maybe give this video a thumbs up or share this video. That would be freaking awesome. And then finally, also just a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link. I'll go over that in just a second. The one underneath it, I'm an old-time fart. I can't stand change. I'm an old-time fart. I'm one of them, get off my lawn type old-time farts, right? The link underneath it, I can't stand change. Don't be changing stuff up on me. I'm too much of a moron. I mean, start thinking about stuff, right? Just keep it the way it is, right? The link underneath, it's a Twitter link. It's always been Twitter to me. It'll always be Twitter. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants me to call it, that's on you, bro. I'm not calling it that. I'm calling it Twitter. Nah, man. I'm calling it Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I try to put Giants-related stuff every day in my Twitter account. And they said then the link on top of it takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group, but the members post stuff in this group as well, too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right, well, all that stuff said and done in that way with. Well, after making fun of the Steelers, I do got to commend them. I'll tell you what. I mean, I don't know how far into the future Tomlin's contract is, but they just extended an additional 3 years. Basically, they should just give the dude a blank check and just keep writing yourself, your salary. Just let us know when you want to retire. When you want to step down, just let us know. Maybe give us a year. Give it a little year's notice or so. But the job's yours, dude. I mean, the guy. It doesn't matter. I could probably be quarterback for him and they'll still have a winning season. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. Yeah, I'd make fun of him. Yeah. Because any Ben Roethlisberger or whatever, to maybe go to the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But all the guy does every year, he has a winning record. Absolutely amazing. Unbelievable, that guy. And then you start thinking about it, and you go back, I mean, how, now he got 6 Super Bowl wins. But, I mean, you look at like how fortunate they've been since 69. I guess this would be, I don't know, they've had, what is that, would be 55 seasons. This might be the 56th season, I guess, where they've had Chuck Noll, right? Cower, and then Tomlin. 55 years, 55, 56, whatever, whether it's been maybe the 55th or 56th season, whatever. They've had 3 coaches. I mean, we got teams that can't even go 56 months without having 3 coaches. They had 50, and they still got the same coach, and they extended them. So basically, they're going to have, I mean, unless something happens, hopefully nothing happens to them and all of that, because the NFL is a much better place with Mike Tomlin in it as far as being a head coach. But, I mean, so we're going to probably look for at least close to at least 60 years of Pittsburgh Steelers football with 3 coaches. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? Wow. Can they pick them or what? Let me tell you freaking what. Holy freaking cow. How lucky they are. 60 years. Wow. Let's say we go back to, well, if you want to see, because you go into 69, so I won't even include Allie Sherman. Right? Because Allie Sherman for the Giants made it into the 69 season, the preseason. That's when he got after that, after the Jets beat the Giants, I think 37-14 in the preseason. Really embarrassed Wellington Mara. And a lot of people were singing and chanting, Allie must go, or here goes Allie, or something like that, whatever it was. So actually, Allie Sherman did make it into the 69 preseason, but I won't even include that. So we got Alex Webster, right? Then we got Bill Orange Parger. That's with a P. Let's see. Then we got John McVay, right? Then we have, there is Perkins and Parcells, right? And then Reeves, Hanley, Fossil, Coughlin. So we're up to 9 already, right? Then we got McAdoo. And I don't know if you want to put Spagnuolo in there or not. He was the interim coach for like 4 games, I think it was, right? Then you got Shermer, and you got Judge, and you got Dable. So we've had 14. I mean, however you want to look at it. If you want to put Spagnuolo in there or not. If you want to take Spagnuolo out, he was just the interim coach, head coach. Now, once again, he's like a good defensive coordinator. Maybe not so much of as good of a head coach, because I mean he had his time. He was with the Rams, and they bad, very bad. So he's a much better. Some guys are better just coordinators than they are coaches. But so you guys, whatever that was, maybe 13 coaches the Giants had since 69. Steelers have had 3, but I mean the Giants have having 13. I mean that's small compared to, say, I'd have to go back and look at all these teams. I mean, like the Jets and the Browns and a lot of other teams. Just like some of these teams change coaches like they change their underwear. But I mean, you look at the Giants. I mean, the Giants, we've had some good, we've had some bad, but 13, right? But I said the Steelers, kudos to them. I mean, I said if Tomlin, makes it to the end of this extension, I guess, whatever, there'll be like 3 coaches the Steelers have had for about 60 years. Holy cow. Unfreaking believable. But anyway, talking about this, I mean, don't know exactly what it was. Don't know what it is. But with the Jets, right? Wax on, wax off. He's, I guess, holding out or whatever. He's not at mandatory minicamp because I guess he's, shocking. He wants more money, I guess. So he's holding out. And then, of course, Aaron Rodgers is, he wasn't at minicamp either. Mandatory minicamp, by the way. Apparently, what Salah said, there was something, I forget exactly how he said it, but there was something that and there was an event, I think he said, in his life that he really wants to be at. I don't know what that is, but the 1 or 2 days worth of minicamp, whatever. There's this special event he has to be at on a Tuesday in the middle of the week. That takes precedent over a mandatory minicamp. There's 2 days that he has to be there, and it's a special event. So whatever, I don't know, whatever. But so the Giants pretty much their attendance wise is pretty good. You can't complain. But they had they won. Actually, I think there is 3 days, but I think like the third day is like really like, I don't know, like not much of anything. I don't know if it's like a barbecue or something like that. I mean, everybody just shows up and just has, I don't know. But it's apparently may not be like much of anything going on really. So I do think it's 3 days, but I think, basically the on the field stuff is basically Tuesday and Wednesday. And I think, as far as I know, I think the media will be there tomorrow. So the nice thing about the media is you got different perspectives from different guys and Patty Trainer, different guys and girls, right? And they give their different points of views and everything like that. So it's really good that way. So they'll be there tomorrow, and then I think they'll be there. I think Thursday, I think is a mini camp or something, whatever it is or something. But I think it's some type of party, whatever going on, and then everybody's gone till July 24th. So it's about 6 weeks. Whew, that's when you start getting the shakes and stuff like that. It's like, what's going on? But the nice thing, that's what I love about this 6 weeks absence. Okay, it's it stinks, it sucks, it's you start getting the shakes. It's like, what are we talking about? Where's the football? What's going on? But once they come back, it's on, right? Training camp, preseason, and guys, we're looking at another season of Giants football. Gotta love it, huh? Gotta love it. A lot of questions, a lot of excitement, anticipation. I'm not looking, who we playing in the Super Bowl. I'm not looking at that. I'm a couple things. I know a lot of things. Like the offensive line, Evan Neal, Daniel Jones, yada. Who's the cornerback number 2? Malik. All these stories and everything like that. But my couple big ones, what I'm saying, is, can we stay healthy, relatively healthy, which is one of the things I'm going to start talking about. It'd be the last thing I'll be going to bring up here. But can we make an improvement? Can we improve on the 6-11? Now, once again, you always got to add, you got to context to everything. If the Giants wind up 6-11 again, well, what happened? Were we healthy and we just stunk? Well, that's not good. If we were massacred once again by injuries and we're 6-11, and out of the 11 losses, we lost 9 of the games by 1 point. Well, hey, that was a good season. But can we stay relatively healthy? And can we improve upon the 6-11? Right? If we're relatively healthy and we go 7-10, ooh. Daniel Jones is relatively healthy the whole season. We got our top gun in there the whole season. Relatively. Everybody's got injuries. Everybody. But we stay relatively healthy, and Daniel Jones. We're not going to a 37th string quarterback and this, that, and the other thing. And we're 7-10. Ooh, not too good. Benny G-Man, what's up, buddy? What's going on, bro? So you always got to put some context in there. Right? So, look, can we stay healthy, and can we improve? If we can improve, I certainly don't see why we couldn't be, at least, be fighting for a playoff spot, right? Because they got usually so many playoff spots, available. Usually. Somebody, we get toward the end of the season, there's chances of somebody maybe like a 9-8 team getting in there or something like that. So, be in the playoff hunt for the last final week or two of the season or something like that. Maybe we can get in there. Who knows? I mean, we weren't supposed to a couple of years ago, right? When we were 9-7-1, and we got in there and we won a playoff game, right? So anything's possible. So I mean, that's the biggest thing here. I'd certainly like to see, get some improvement. Is our roster, going on the up and up? But also we're starting to find a way to, hopefully get away with some of these injuries. My goodness, Daniel Jones and Evan Neal. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. The Daniel Jones thing, Evan Neal. I mean, he hasn't been participating. He's been like on the sideline riding in a bicycle and stuff like that. So Dable was kind of hoping that maybe he'll be ready for training camp. Daniel Jones should be ready for training camp. Hopefully Evan Neal. I think it's like if the guy can't stay healthy, it's like, So I mean, so he's got a couple things. Can Evan Neal stay healthy? Right, because he's always had some type of injury going on with him, right? And then can he perform? So that's big for him. And then if he can't, or he can't stay healthy, or we slide, Illuminor out there, and then we're gonna have a battle royal for the final guard position, for the left guard position. Gonna be interesting. Interesting to say. So it's always, there's always the stories behind just the wins and losses. Because after the season's over with, all the smoke clears and the dust settles and all that stuff and everything, you got to pick the pieces up and where are we going next year? What direction are we going to go? Do we need another tackle? Do we need another quarterback? Do we need a cornerback number 2 because Flott couldn't hold up? I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So, but mandatory minicamp here. Here we go. Day 1. Takeaways from day 1. I got a couple of stories here. This is from, what we got here? From Big Blue View. This is from Ed Valentine. Play of the day. Yeah, I seen there was a video of this. Wan'Dale Robinson took like a slant pass and he took it to the house. Apparently it was like about 60 yards or whatever it was. So like to see some more of that going on. Defensive player of the day. The Giants kept cornerback Caleb Hayes. I forgot all about him. He was on their practice squad for the entire 2023 season. Usually signed that an organization likes something about a player's potential. Now, I'll tell you what, Caleb Hayes, you look at this freaking guy, his RAS score is 9.75 as a cornerback. So I'll tell you what, when a cornerback, one of the freakish, most, phenomenal athletes on the field, you got to be a good athlete to be a cornerback. When he grades out at a 9.75, I don't know if that says where he ranked all time here or not. I don't know. But I mean, there can't be a boatload of cornerbacks that ranked higher than a 9.75 in the RAS score. I mean, heck of an athlete. It says his 6-foot, 195-pound Hayes was a practice squad standout on Tuesday with a pair of passes broken up. He blanketed Chase Cota on a deep ball from Drew Lock, knocking that ball away. Cota was injured on the play. So this will be on my last little storyline going over. Ending up being carted off the field. This is Chase Cota, appearing to land on his left shoulder. On the next play, Hayes knocked away a quick throw from Lock to Dennis Houston. Hayes posted an elite RAS score in 2023, but he went undrafted. He was from Brigham Young. But here is his pre-draft scouting report. Hayes has long arms with good play strength and is much better suited to play close to his receiver early in the route. He lacks the short area burst and instincts to play off the ball. His strength and length complement his long speed, which could allow him to utilize a press and trail technique where he can stay close to the wideout. The elite athletic testing will have teams searching for a way to get more out of him than what we see on tape. But there is a lot of work to do from a ball production standpoint. Could Hayes become a serious challenger for a spot on the 53-man roster? I'll have to wait and see. That's to be determined. Tuesday, though, was a good day for the former Brigham Young University cornerback. Evan Neal out until training camp. Head coach Brian Daboll said Tuesday that right tackle Evan Neal, rehabbing from ankle surgery, will not practice until training camp. Neal, the number 7 overall pick, whose starting job is in jeopardy after 2 subpar seasons, worked during walkthrough periods earlier in this spring. During last week's open OTA and this week, Neal is not taken to the field. On Tuesday, all Neal did was ride the stationary bike. Brother. Daboll denied that Neal doing less now than he did a few weeks ago means he had a setback in his recovery. He's kind of about the same. He's about the same. We're going to back off him here, and hopefully we can get the plan is right now as of whatever today is I think we should have everybody ready to go for training camp. All right, which is important. That's true. Daboll said he's mixed in. He's done some various things. We thought for the next couple of days we'll back off of him. Andrew Phillips sighting. There you go. Right? 3rd round pick, Mr. Phillips. Intercepted a Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan pass on Tuesday. Phillips snagged a pass that should have been caught by wide receiver Dennis Houston, but careened off his hands. Phillips, who has worked as the backup slot cornerback to Nick McLeod this spring, did receive a handful of first-team reps. Another thing, it says, what's up with Bellinger? Daniel Bellinger did not participate in 7-on-7 or 11-on-11 work during the Giants' open OTA last week. He did not take part in 11-on-11 work on Tuesday either, but shrugged off questions about whether or not he is dealing with an injury. Ooh. He said nothing physically, just staying locked in mentally and watching Theo Johnson and Lawrence Cager grow. Bellinger said, I wouldn't say rest, just kind of like letting Theo grow and getting more mental growth to Theo and Cage and everybody to take a step as a whole tight end room instead of just myself taking all the reps. So if you're scratching your head reading that and trying to figure out what Bellinger was trying to say or not say, you aren't alone. Media members, myself included, were befuddled by that response. Bellinger rode a stationary bike for part of practice, so maybe he's dealing with some type of little nick. Most improved Giant. Even after the retirement of Darren Waller, Lawrence Cager might be looked at as an afterthought among Giants tight ends. However, Cager had just 4 receptions in 5 games last season, spending most of the year on the practice squad. The Giants added Theo Johnson, free Stahl and Manhurts. That might make Cager seem like the odd man out. Perhaps, though, we shouldn't jump to that conclusion. Daboll highly complimented him. He said, I've been very happy with Cage, said head coach Brian Daboll, probably one of the most improved players throughout the offseason that we've had relative to playing fast, being able to use his speed, not thinking, being in the system here for a little bit. Yeah, just not thinking, just reacting. I've been very happy with his progress. He's got a great schedule. He has come in really early. He's taken to the coaching from tight ends coach Tim Kelly. He has had a really good camp. So keep an eye on Lawrence Cager. I mean, Cager's, a very good athlete. Was wide receiver, so very capable of catching passes. Is that maybe you're just not going to get the overall, the total package out of him, But apparently, Daboll said, he was, very, 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 very happy. Daboll was talking about Hyatt, really improved over last season, and Cager too. Yeah. We got Malik Neighbors and Daniel Jones. Malik Neighbors had some curious things to say about Daniel Jones and the Giants quarterback situation for the 2024 draft, partially because of that and partially because of Jones being limited this spring as he rehabs from his torn ACL. The development of the relationship between Jones and Neighbors is one that is worth paying attention to. Neighbors, for his part, did not seem overly concerned on Tuesday about any time being missed with Jones due to the quarterback's limited workload. If you want to go so far as to consider the comment below dismissive, that's up to you. He said, when Daniel comes back, I'm sure he's going to be helpful to the offense. But right now, we just focus on the guys we've got in there right now, Neighbors said. Jones, on the other hand, praised the rookie wide receiver. I think he can be a tremendous weapon for us. He has had a good spring. He's looked good and made a lot of plays, Takes time and work, and we'll put that in, Jones said. I mean, Neighbors can do everything. There is not much that he can't do, really, from a route running standpoint. He is dynamic with the ball in his hands and strong, fast, explosive, catches the ball well. Yeah, he does a lot well. Jones, also this too, Jones going to, as he usually does every year, he organizes some type of a workout during the 6 weeks off. So the Giants quarterback traditionally brings pass catchers together to work out for a few days between minicamp and training camp. The quarterback said Tuesday that his knee will not force him to cancel that annual event. We're going to get together like we always do and work out for a few days, Jones said. Jones said this year's workout will be held outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. And then we got, let's see here, punt and kickoff return. Which players are taking reps returning punts and kickoffs during special team periods is always a topic of interest. Here's what we saw on Tuesday. Returning punts, Yair Asante, Isaiah McKenzie, Dante Miller, Tyrone Tracy Jr., Darius Slayton, and Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, let's not forget Gunner, right? I guess he's still he's not back fully healthy or whatever it is, so that's why he was not returning punts. Kickoffs, you got Devin Singletary, Tracy Robinson. Devin Singletary, Tracy Robinson, Miller, Asante. An interesting note about kickoff return is that the Giants are practicing with 2 return men aligned ready to accept the kickoff. Because, I mean, you can also, that's not a bad idea because, there's no onside kicks unless you announce it. They have to announce it beforehand. So, I mean, you could actually, if you want it, that I don't know. I'm just being stupid here. Could the Giants literally put one guy on the line, right, and have 10 guys returning? Or the most you can have back there is 2? I'm just thinking stupidly here. I don't know. But they can have 2 guys back there. And then, of course, he wishes at Valentine wishes Waller the best. And that's true. I mean, you think, the guy's got some, obviously he's got some things going on in his mind and all that and everything. And, obviously he's retiring from football. His divorce. Hopefully, he finds his happy place, and hopefully his music takes him to that happy place, and he can, whatever demons he might have going on in his head, from alcohol abuse or his drug abuse or whatever it was, hopefully he can just, hopefully he can clear his mind and hopefully have a happy life going forward. There's also this one from John Schmelk. He talks about notes from day one. Giants kicked off the 2024 minicamp on Tuesday. The rules for minicamp are no different than the rules of OTAs, with no pads or contact allowed during practice. Brian Daboll said in his news conference he still considers these teaching practices, which means competition on the depth chart will begin in earnest when training camp opens next month. Is what John Schmelk said. Here's what I saw and heard today. Daboll informed the media before practice that they would not be doing any 7-on-7 today. which meant Daniel Jones would not get any competitive reps since his knee injury recovery still has him sitting out of 11. So basically, they were doing all pretty much 11-11 drills, which canceled out Daniel Jones. Jones said he would be ready to go on the first day of training camp. And apparently, hopefully, that's what. And even Aaron Robinson, quite possibly, Aaron Robinson, the man, the myth, the legend, who's played, I think, 11 games in 3 years with the Giants. Didn't play anything last year. He had that horrific knee injury. Is going to hopefully possibly make it back in time for training camp, right? The question is, the problem is that, after you have that horrific injury, because he had the ACL, the MCL, the BCL, the CCL, the DCL, like everything was like it was gone. According to Paul Dottino, it was bad. Right? It wasn't just an ACL. Because you just see with an ACL, Daniel Jones had it in November. His surgery was in November, I think it was. And now he's up and talking about coming back for training camp and I'll be ready and all that. That wasn't the case with Aaron Robinson. His was pretty bad. But the thing is, everybody can come back from one of those. The problem is, can you be NFL ready? There's a little difference there. Like we talk about, like Darian Beavers last season, right? He came back because he's one of the guys I'm really excited. I haven't really heard his name too much here in any of these camps and all that stuff and everything, but very excited to see. Hopefully, he can maybe make his way onto the roster. He's like 6'4". His size is just, and he could run sideline to sideline. I'm not saying he's Ray Lewis or Lawrence Taylor and all like that. But where we drafted him at, the possibilities, could be, at least the worst comes to worst. He could maybe replace the Cam Brown that we lost. We didn't re-sign or whatever like that, right? So, but the thing was with Darian Beavers last season is 2 years ago he got injured, missed the season, tried to come back last season, but he was like, from just what I'm hearing, he was like a little step slow. He wasn't fully, as good as he could be, right? So now the second season back, he should be up and running, right? So we'll have to wait and see with Aaron Robinson. Apparently what Brian Dable was talking about, that's hopefully, he's working his way back and maybe in 6 weeks. Because you look, this would be darn close. Maybe 21. When training camp starts, it'd be like 21 months since he got injured, somewhere around there. 20, 21, 22 months since he's been injured. Long time, So the thing is, but when he comes back, if you're a cornerback, you got to be able to move. It's not like you're, Snacks Harrison or something like that, and your job is just to, you're in a 3-point stand, they snap the ball, and your thing is just to clog up the middle. You don't have to run 30 yards and 30, cornerback, you got to be able to move, So it'll be interesting to see. You got to give him a lot, the Giants a lot of credit and all of that, and give him a lot of credit because, Shane and Dale, they didn't draft the guy. Right? They didn't draft him. Right? He came with the team. So when he got here, so let's hope. Let's hope. Because the times when he was on the field, as few snaps as that was, he did a decent job. He really did a decent job, and the Giants certainly could use some good quality depth in their secondary. And he's still young, right? His problem is like he's been a walking injury. He's been like a Shane Lemieux, Ellerson Smith. Some guys just walk onto the field and boom, something goes wrong. I think after the Giants, I think it was after the Giants drafted him. Aaron Rodgers, he had like muscle core surgery. As soon as they drafted him, like a month or so after they had the muscle, and he missed some time. And he was like always missing time. So he might come back, and then the injury bug might rear its ugly head, and he might get injured once again. So, but as Dable says, what they're looking for is by the time training camp rolls around, Daniel Jones, maybe Aaron Robinson, hoping maybe Gunnar Olszewski, hopefully maybe Evan Neal might be able to participate. Wouldn't that be nice, huh? Watch the offseason during individual drills to offense during the individual drills today, starting with the quarterbacks and the skill position players. Jones got the most of his reps during the portion of practice, making sure to get reps throwing to the first team wideouts. Jones said during his news conference that throwing against air can help that process along. Okay. Offensive line coach Carmen Brasillo continues to try to build chemistry with the group, working on a lot of combo blocks. He had the guards and centers working together with assistant offensive line coach James Ferentz. While he worked with the offensive tackles and tight ends, they worked on moving in sync on zone runs with both players going in the same direction, as well as combo blocking a defensive lineman before getting to the second level to get to the linebacker. The tackles and tight ends also worked on pass protection, with the tight end chipping the defensive end to block in tandem with the offensive tackle. The competitive part of practice began with no huddle work for the offense. After completing a pass to Malik Neighbors to start the session and a scramble after strong coverage left no one open, Drew Lock hit Wando Robinson in rhythm over the middle. Robinson pulled away and ran for what would have been a 50-yard touchdown catch. Okay, I heard somebody said it was 60 yards, but 50 yards. Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan hit Bryce Ford Wheaton on a deep crosser that would have gone for a long gain. Although Elijah Chapman got some penetration on the play for what could have been a sack. Don't forget about Elijah. Right. With the final group, Nathan Rourke had 2 passes knocked away by Caleb Hayes. During the entire no-huddle period, the defense had at least 3 plays where they played coverage so well the quarterback either had to eat the ball and run it or throw it away. Defense held strong during team red zone drills and prevented a touchdown. Cordell Flott prevented a completion. Boogie Basham got penetration into the backfield on another. Brian Burns also got himself into the backfield during this team period and disrupted a pass play. In the final set of team drills, Deonte Banks played great coverage on Jalen Hyatt, who ran deep down the right sideline. Elijah Riley also knocked the pass away. Drew Phillips had the defensive play of practice, catching a pass that deflected off the hands of wide receiver Dennis Houston before it hit the ground for an interception. The offense made 2 big plays in the final team session of practice. Jalen Hyatt burst up the sideline and could have run for a score. Theo Johnson caught a deep touchdown pass from Tommy DeVito to the left side of the field. So the one nice thing that you like to hear, in this, you want to hear the offense and you want to hear the defense. I mean, because a lot of it is like, it's sometimes it's a little easier to complete passes when, they can't touch you. Your wide receiver running around out there. Especially catching stuff over the middle during the game. It's like, ooh, if I go up and catch it, somebody might take my head off. So you might get those alligator arms. Ooh, I couldn't reach it. I stretched, couldn't reach it. That's a game situation. Here in OTAs, nobody's touching you. You're like, oh, I pulled it in. Yeah, look at me go. You know what I mean? So it's a little different, Then it's the same thing with guys maybe making sacks or getting into the backfield. Well, if nobody can touch you, you might get in the backfield. Yeah. So. But it's nice to hear. Especially, you got to give the defensive guys some credit too, right? Because, if they can't touch the wide receivers, right, and they're knocking passes away and all, well, kudos to them. So you want to hear a nice mixture. You don't want to hear all defense. You don't want to hear all offense. You want to hear a nice little mixture. So that's good to hear. That's good to hear. And I hear a lot of different names, which is nice. It's just not, Kayvon Thibodeau every time, or Brian Burns. Hearing all these different names from the cornerbacks and safeties and all that and everything. So, hear, wide receivers catching passes and everything. So it's a nice mixture. Nice mixture. All right, then the Giants ain't sitting on their laurels. I haven't heard of this guy before, but, the top running back, I guess it is, in the UFL. Jacob Sailors in East Rutherford after a successful season with the St. Louis Battlehawks. Oh, yeah, baby. Giants are continuing to look for potential upgrades to their 90-man roster before training camp opens in late July. As mandatory minicamp opens, the Giants are reportedly hosting the top running back in UFL, Jacob Sailors, for a visit. The 23-year-old Sailors listed as 5'10", 199 pounds. Nice size, 5'10", 200 pounds. Not bad, not bad. Spent part of the 2023 NFL season on the practice squad of the Atlanta Falcons. He signed originally as an undrafted free agent with the Bengals, playing this spring for the UFL's St. Louis Battlehawks. Sailors gained 460 yards on 94 carries, 4.9 yards per attempt with 5 touchdowns. Sailors also had 151 yards receiving. Sailors played 5 seasons. I'm going to go over these seasons at East Tennessee State. So we got Gray, right? We got Tracy, we got Turbo Miller, we got Corbin, and we got Singletary. So we'll have to wait and see. But let's see here. It's basically this college stat here. So he played 5 seasons, 2018 to 2022, at East Tennessee State in Johnson City, Tennessee. He appeared 51 games. These guys coming out, the amount of games that they played in is an astronomical amount compared to like what it was however many years ago. Once again, being the old fart I am, if I'm going back to the 70s, I can just remember a lot of Notre Dame stuff. Back early on, early 70, 71 and stuff like that. They were playing like 9 games in a season, maybe 10. If you got double-digit games, that was a lot. Now they're playing 15. It's freaking unbelievable compared to what it was 50 years ago. But anyway, if they play 10 games in a season, there was no five seasons back then. A lot of times the guys didn't play when they were freshmen. So if they played sophomore, junior, and senior, if they played 10 games, they played 30 games. That was a lot of games 50 years ago. Now they're playing 51 games. It's like, holy cow. It's amazing how many games they played. So in his 51 games, he had 3,851 rushing yards on 608 carries, 6.3 yards a carry, 33 rushing touchdowns. But you also got to remember he played at Eastern Tennessee State. It wasn't at Alabama, wasn't Ohio State, wasn't Florida State, it wasn't Clemson. So got to keep this stuff right in mind. He also got 91 passes for 781 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. He was a first-team All-Southern Conference, named to this Southern Conference All-Freshman team. He played in 11 games in 2022, recorded 225 rushing attempts for 1,307 yards. So basically his final season, he had 15 rushing touchdowns. And he caught a passing touchdown as well, too. So he had 16 touchdowns his final season. He appeared in all 13 games. He had 5. He only had his second to last season. He had 5 starts. He had 1,000 yards rushing. And he had 10 rushing touchdowns with only 5 starts. He set a school record with a single game rushing yards with 266 in a win over Western Carolina. So, for high school, he went to high school in Tennessee. He had 74 career touchdowns in high school. Also had 18 interceptions as a defensive back. As a senior, in high school, he rushed for 1,795 yards and 36 rushing touchdowns. Pretty good. So, special. But as I said, he went to Eastern Tennessee State in 2018 to 2022. His last season, this is PFF. That's all I'm going by. His overall running grade was a 78, or offensive grade was a 78.2. 2021, his overall offensive grade was an 83.4. His running grade is very, very good. His 2021, his running grade was an 85.9. His pass blocking, was not super spectacular. His passing grade wasn't bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Seems like he catches like maybe some screens and stuff like that. He's not running long patterns or anything. He only averages like 8 yards of reception, so nothing super spectacular. His run blocking is okay, So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, he did once again. He said he did well in the UFL. He had some nice numbers in college. Right? Certainly doesn't mean that he can't make it in the pros. And as I said, the Giants are always looking to upgrade the roster, always looking to bring guys in. So we'll have to wait and see. Right? See what he can do. Right. Then they also got in. Right. They all brought in some other guys as well too. And of course, as we're looking on the defensive side, Giants are hosting Tre Herndon and others for tryouts as well. Let's see, tryouts. Noah T. They brought in 2 tight ends. Noah Togiai. I'm not sure how they pronounce that. Oh my God. Gior Quarius Spivey. Offensive lineman Kevin Deitch, or Deitch, Diesch. With news of the recent retirement of starting tight end Darren Waller, the Giants are trying out several veterans at minicamp this week, along with several other veterans at other positions. Now, the only one I've heard of is Tre Herndon. So I pulled up some stats on him. Hey, Coach Brian Dable said that the team is always trying to improve the roster and have the luxury of some additional cap space with Waller off the roster. The Giants already have a full tight end room, but there is always room for more. Noah Togiai, who was an undrafted free agent out of Oregon State back in 2017, has played in 8 NFL games. Former Mississippi State Bulldog Gior Quarius Spivey is also getting a tryout. Tre Herndon III, a cornerback with 83 games of experience and 34 starts for Jacksonville. The Jaguars will also get a tryout, as well 6'7" offensive tackle Kevin Deitch. Diesch. It's either Deitch or Deitch, I guess. But Tre Herndon, let's see. So he's what is he? He's 28, right? 5'11", 190 pounds. He was an undrafted free agent. The Jaguars got him, right? This past season now was his best season. Once again, according to Pro Football Focus, right? That's all I'm going by here. All right. His overall grade on defense this past season with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tre Herndon, he graded out at a 70.8. His coverage grade was a 73.1. His pass rush, I guess when they sent him on pass rush, he graded out at an 87. His tackling is not very good. His run defense this season, past season, was a 29.7. His tackling was a 43.7. What did he miss? He missed he missed 11 tackles, 20.4% missed tackle rate. That's horrible. Basically, he missed 1 out of every 5 tackles, so that's not very good. He needs to work on that. But let's see here. See, in 2022, he graded out a 55.8. 2021, he played 207 snaps totally on defense. He only graded out a 33, so maybe he had some injury problems there, only playing 207 snaps. 2020, he played over 1,000 snaps, and he graded out a 52.6. His second season in 2019, he graded out a 54.7. His rookie season, 2018, he only played in 86 defensive snaps. He graded out a 49.7. Now, let me say it. I didn't look to say special teams here. Special teams? Let's see here. The big special teamer? Well, his past season, he played special teams with 53 snaps. His rookie season, one of the reasons, I guess he was just basically a special teamer for the most part. His rookie season, he had 199 snaps. Nothing super spectacular. Once again, just bringing somebody in, obviously, it's always fluid. You got guys coming and you got guys going. So always trying to upgrade the roster. So, I mean, I wouldn't, wouldn't really get too overly ecstatic about Tre Herndon, but bringing him in, right? If they've signed him, bringing him in, competition's only going to make people better. So, especially when you bring somebody else in from the outside, he might be taking your job. It's going to make, you don't want guys getting complacent. Oh man, I've been here for 2 years. All right, I think they like me. I think I might be in the long-term plans for the Giants here. You know what I mean? Nah. The Giants, they drafted Eric Gray. They brought in Turbo Miller, right? They brought in they got Tracy. They just brought in Singletary, right? And I think they're the ones that brought in Corbin. So all these guys, all these running backs, right? They brought in all these running backs, and then they're bringing somebody else in. I mean, we only got 5 of them. I mean, you're only going to have maybe 3 on the roster. What are you going to? You can't tuck 13 running backs on the practice squad. So they brought these 5 guys in, and then they're still bringing more running backs in. So, but then I tell you what, boy, I seen this. Oh my God! I mean, I'm glad I'm old. I'm glad I wear Depends because I don't wear Depends, but I almost peed myself. I mean, I couldn't believe this. It's oh my God. I mean, one more time, in case you didn't hear me. Oh my God. I saw this. I couldn't believe it. Cowboys offer former first-round bust a second chance in the NFL. Oh my God. In case you didn't hear me the first 92 times I said it. The Dallas Cowgirls certainly are not afraid to explore all avenues to find success, or not find success, in this case, when it comes to players who can help them win. I mean, are they kidding me? They haven't won a Super Bowl since 96. After that, I guess it was in January, but it was the 95 season, right? And Jerry Jones is yearning to get back to the pinnacle. The Cowboys are turning over every stone. Yes, they are. I'm surprised. I don't know why they're not going to like graveyards and uncovering dead people, right? And giving them a tryout. I mean, Dick Butkus just passed away. Why don't they get up, open up his grave and bring him in for a tryout, right? The latest stone is working out former first-round NFL draft pick DeAndre Baker. Oh my God! The New York Giants drafted Baker and we traded back up into the first round to get this moron with the number 30 overall pick in the 2019 NFL draft. Baker spent 1 season with the Giants before being released in September in 2020 due to an arrest. Baker, an All-American from the Georgia Bulldogs, saw his NFL career derailed when he was arrested for aggravated assault and armed robbery. Boy, just an absolute idiot. This resulted in Baker being released by the Giants. However, the charges were dropped once it came to light that Baker was being extorted by the lawyer representing those accusing him. But then, after that, this is a guy who was falling asleep in meetings. The Kansas City Chiefs signed Baker. I guess it's just if you're a bust, if you're a first round bust for the Giants, we'll just send you to the Chiefs, like DeAndre Baker, Darius Toney, right? The Chiefs signed Baker during the 2020 season once he was reinstated by the NFL. His time in Kansas City was short. He broke his femur in 2021, which led to his eventual release. Baker received another chance at football when the DC Defender of the UFL signed him. He became an all-league selection at cornerback, playing in 10 games and registering 22 tackles and 3 pass breakups. At just 26 years old, Baker still has football in him and the ability to contribute. The Cowboys' defensive back room is littered with talent, led by Trevon Diggs and Daron Bland, and could have offered DeAndre Baker the chance to rekindle his magic. What magic? Magic from where? Wasn't no magic in the NFL, I can tell you that much. Now, let's see. His rookie season, he played 970 snaps for the Giants, defensive snaps. He graded out a 48.4. His coverage grade was a 45.6. Then the Chiefs got him. He played in 45 snaps in 2020 for him, 45 defensive snaps. And then his final season is 2021. Played 239 defensive snaps. He graded out a 59, overall. But, I mean, he hasn't played in the NFL in 2 seasons. I mean, they're I don't know. I just kind of. They're overturning, turning every stone. But I mean, I don't know. If I think if he was really that good, I don't think he'd run it. Well, I mean, that might happen. Who knows? But if he was that phenomenal, I don't think he would ever made it to the UFL. So we'll have to wait and see. If he makes it, if he makes the team, he makes the team. But I thought that was kind of funny. All right, and then, obviously, hopefully, this is just a one-time thing here, and all. But once again, things happen. Injuries pop up. So, but New York Giants injury update: 3 receivers. Oh yeah, there you go. Who did practice early? That injury bug started to creep up. Said 3 New York Giant receivers, Darius Slayton, Chase Cota, where Bryce Ford Wheaton, who got injured last season, that practiced early after sustaining injuries. The severity of each one is not immediately known. Slayton, who joined his teammates 2 weeks ago, was injured when he tried to reel in a pass thrown from the block. He was slow to get up, finally getting to his feet and walking to an empty field escorted by trainers. Cota appeared to injure his shoulder after being led on a pass thrown by David Warren. He stayed down on the ground for a few minutes before being attended to and was eventually carted off the field and back to the locker room for evaluation. So unfortunately, Bryce Ford Wheaton, who was trying to come back from his torn ACL suffered last summer, walked off the field with a trainer with what appeared to be an arm or stinger issue. It's unclear what led to and it's not known how significant these things are, but it might be safe to assume that none of the 3 receivers will return by 6 months from practice. So I mean, say, unfortunately, you got Gunnar Olszewski, he could be there tomorrow. You got Cota, Bryce Ford Wheaton, you got Slayton. So you got 4 wide receivers. And then, of course, I think Tyree Jackson. Trina was talking about Tyree Jackson. I think she said, it might have been, I think the 3rd OTA. Something happened with one of his upper arm or something like that. And I'm not sure if he's back yet or not. But quite possibly, the Giants are missing 5 receivers, tight end / receivers who will be there tomorrow. So, once again, things happen. Hopefully, this is not a sign of things to come. Speaking of receivers and injuries, Gunnar Olszewski, who was injured in the team's 5th OTA when he slipped on the slick grass at the end of his route and appeared to have suffered a lower leg injury, was spotted coming out onto the field after practice, started to do some work in the rehab area. Okay, that's good. So hopefully maybe in 6 weeks' time, Olszewski appeared to be walking with just the slightest of limps. Coach Brian Dable previously told me that Olszewski was for the spring, hoping to be ready for camp. Tight end Daniel Bellinger was held out of the team heavy practice session, but due to an injury, and at least according to what Bellinger said after practice wrapped up. I mean, this sounds a little weird. It does sound a little weird. Bellinger was saying, just staying locked in mentally and watching Theo Johnson and Lawrence Cager grow. Bellinger said when asked about his absence from 11 drills. With Darren Wall having retired, Bellinger is projected to be tight end number 1 with the team reconvenes for training camp. So, right tackle Evan Neal was again held out of practice and missed last Thursday's OTA, which was open to the media. They said that Neal, who had ankle surgery last year, had a setback in his recovery, and that he should be ready for training camp. So, let's see. And of course, here we go. Cornerback Aaron Robinson with his knee didn't practice. Robinson's two what's been a lengthy comeback attempt from a partially torn ACL and a partially torn MCL in November of 2022. So he got injured. So July, August, September. So okay, so 19 months ago. He got injured 19 months ago. He had surgery he had surgery 18 months ago. So in December 2022. So it's been 18 months. So maybe next month in July, it'll be 19 months since he's had his surgery. So hopefully he'll be back to training camp. But the biggest thing is Aaron Robinson is obviously got one. If he even makes it to the team, can he ever stay healthy? He hasn't done it yet. But the other thing is, can he see in football? Can he run? Can he move? Vertically horizontal? Can he stop break? All that stuff on that knee. He can run, sure. He can walk. He can move. He can do everything. Can he do it at an NFL level? That's the big problem right there. Then we got offensive tackle Matt Nelson, who's held out. He drove during the prior OTAs. Immediate to team reps at left tackle with the 13 So the one thing is that, what Abel's been saying, not sure if it's going to come to fruition or not, but not hoping that everybody, in 6 weeks' time, July 24th, will be ready for training camp. And I mean, it's like with Evan Neal, if he's not ready, hopefully within a week or two or whatever, he'll be ready. But that's the right now. That's the goal. So we got one more mandatory mini camp. And I think they got something going on Thursday, but I think it's like some kind of party, barbecue kind of something or whatever going on. Nothing really crazy, and then they're off for 6 weeks. So, all right, guys. Well, it's been 1 hour, almost 2 minutes. Vinny G-Man, good talking to you again, buddy. Thanks for staying up with me. Greatly appreciate it. So, whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.